All right, so when you open up Illustrator, it looks like this. I'm gonna come over here and click on Create New. It's gonna give me some options over here on the right. I'm just gonna pick orientation of landscape. Let's add 2 artboards though when we do this. All right. So here we have our tools. Down the left, 2 selection arrows, pen, shapes, paintbrush, text, eraser, shape builder, gradient, eyedropper, blend tool, zoom tool. Find your colors down here too. If you click on this little box of the 3 boxes, it'll bring up your color guide. But we're going to learn a little bit about these tools by placing an object in here. So I'm going to firstly place the fox from the Schoology in here. And when I go to the top arrow, or the selection tool V, the black arrow versus the white one, V allows me to change the overall picture. We're just going to try and recreate this sketch right here, adding color and shapes to it. So, got my fox, but I don't want to draw right on top of here. I'm going to come over to my layers. I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to hover my mouse over the selection at the bottom to see Create New Layer. Once that's done, I'm going to come back up, and right beside the eyeball, the little eyeball, there's a space. I'm going to click in there to lock the fox layer so that nothing can change it. But if you look, the layer that I just added is in blue. That means that whatever I draw on top of the fox will save separately. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to right click on my shape tool, click my rectangle, and drag it on the screen. It's in black because that's what's showing up in here as appearance, but also on the left hand side of the screen in the color selection area. The fill is indicated as black. But if I come back to the right hand side of my screen and click on the fill box, click on orange, I can change it to orange. I can also click, I should be able to click inside or select these little arrows, but so I clicked on one arrow, then I'm going to come over to the opposite side, hold the shift button down and click on that other one. And by doing that, I'm telling the computer I want to change these opposite corners. So then you see 2 smaller white circles appear on the inside. And when I drag one in, it does this, it changes the opposite side of that rectangle. It gives me a body shape for the fox. So, right now the fox doesn't have an outline around it, but for some of the drawings today, I need an outline, so I'm coming back under my fill box on the right under appearance, and I'm going to click on that stroke, and then I'm going to open, a new window opens up. I'm going to click on black, and I should have a little black line around it. In fact, I need to make it a little thicker to see it. I just made the stroke 5. I used the V tool, or the V on my keyboard, the selection tool, black arrow to select it and change it. Now I'm going to work on the head of the fox. I'm going to pick a polygon tool, which is another word or way to make hopefully a triangle. Well, that's not my triangle. So when I click on it, it should give me the option to have some sides on my triangle. But here we go, popped up, took a second. I need 3 sides. Just positioning this. And I have to go back and forth between these 2 selection tools sometimes. A quick way to do that on your keyboard is V and A. So for right now, I had to stretch out this shape a little bit. So I had to use the black or V selection arrow because I want to change this shape in particular. If I click to the direct selection, it's going to say, well, what do you want to do to the shape? Do you want to transform it? Don't want to transform it. I just want to move it around. So I've done that, but I'd like to have the head behind the body to make it look like it's sleeping a little bit. So on the right-hand side of my screen, under Properties, I'm going to go to Arrange and then Send to the back. And when I come back to the screen, Fox's head is now behind his body. He needs, or would like to have, a stroke. And he's got a heavy black line or an outline too. I don't have anything else to add to his head, or his body, excuse me, but I do have to add some eyes and whiskers to his face, and also a nose. So let me go back to my polygon tool, right click, and I'm going to draw it up here. I'm going to change the orange from orange to black by clicking on the fill, then going to black. The center button will allow me to move it. A small solid button. And then you'll see I get some options to turn it and whatnot. The solid little orange button will allow me to position it. And I also have to arrange this. Click on the shape and go to Arrange, Send to back. Oh. Send forward, but not all the way forward. So he's got his little nose. Let's work on the ear while I'm here. Go back and click on the polygon tool. I'm going to change this to white, and the stroke is going to be orange. Grab this small little solid dot here, if I can. Oh. We also want to send that a little bit behind his head, so I'm back over on the property side of my didn't move my little ear yet. There we go, send to back. So I've got the ear done. I'm going to go back to the shapes here, click on the rectangle tool. Grab that center dot to move it over, and then the white arrow tool to click a corner, and then click shift on the other corner. And the two corners are selected. So now when I go inside and grab that little curve ball, it will change both corners. Fill is white, so I'd like to change it to orange. We want to make the tail shape, so select the rectangle tool again. Make the fill white so we can see it, or the stroke, excuse me, white so we can see it. Oops. And again here we want to click on the V. Got the two corners selected. I'm going to give this a little curve. And maybe fill it with white also. And that can be the shape for his tail. So let's work on his face. So I went to the A selection, or V on my keyboard to move this shape to see what's underneath. And I can draw right on top of here. Sometimes there's more than one way to do this, which is fine. I'm going to come down to the shapes again on the left hand side of my tools and select the line tool. So we want the line tool stroke to be black, which it is over here. It's not going to fill, but I'm going to be careful in how I draw these. There's one whisker. Oops. Click on the line tool again. Oh boy. whisker. I want one more. Click the line tool again. And I got 3 whiskers. Okay, in my line tool, oh, let me move the shape back. That's a little better. In my line tools, I also have an arc. A little hard to see here, so all right. Oh, the tail. We can give the tail an outline too. And let's work on some stars. So the stars are pretty easy. There's a star tool. Probably you don't want them filled with orange. So when I dragged and dropped it, I can make it yellow and no fill. So no fill is the red line through it. Star tool. Star tool. He did have some pieces of grass. Yeah, right there. And we're going to use the triangle tool to do that. So, I'm going to go back over here. Now the polygon, excuse me. right, and then I'm going to select around them. Pick a color from here. Let's go green. Green looks good. And then we're going to group them. Yep. Yep. There we go. Control C. Oh, maybe not. All right. Looks looking pretty good. A couple more things. Let's get a rectangle here. These little snap to grids are very beneficial to help you out. Almost done. And then a rectangle around this all up here. Don't want green, probably want a blue. And then arrange, center back. Okay, and that would be my fox. Now, I know I went real quick on some of that, but one thing you could do is add a moon here. If that was real easy for you, the follow on to this will be to create another animal using the same type of approach. So, let's have a little fun with it. Don't stress about it. But we're drawing a fox and getting to know some of the Illustrator. Oh, file. Let's save as. I'm going to put it on the desktop for now and see if Schoology will allow us to upload it. Always save your work, very, very important. Alrighty, thank you.